Thank you. Jeez.
UK
How about
crowd,
that?
eh?
I feel so famous. This is awesome.
Welcome!
Well, welcome back to the UK.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First time in town since download, I guess.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you absolutely rocked.
Who was that?
Yeah.
Hands up. Yeah, hey. It's download, though. It was very muddy, hey.
It was.
Mud load.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super muddy, but we were lucky. It wasn't raining when we played. It was super sunny, but everything was still, a foot deep of mud.
You're the best of the British summertime, hey.
That's how it always is, though, right?
True.
With that much sunshine, it would have been weird if it wasn't muddy. It was really sunny.
Makes it feel like a proper festival over here that way, right?
Definitely.
Exactly. But congratulations on the new album. I absolutely love it. So you said that you wanted Supercharged to be full of pure energy from the start to finish. What moments on the record do you feel defines that statement?
Well, Light It Up would be one, I guess,
Yeah.
right? Songs like that.
Even some of the slower ones, like Make It All Right, I think has plenty of energy to it. I mean, it makes me want to move on stage every night when we play it.
People say it sounds like our old shit.
That's
That's not a
true.
bad thing, I guess, right? It's all right.
Yeah.
Especially the back end of that album is the pace picks up and whoa.
Yeah, there's some different stuff on this record as far it's fast paced, but Come to Brazil is very different for us. You guys haven't heard it yet, have you? So it won't be long now, though.
Well, yeah.
We can't wait. We can't wait for you guys to hear the whole thing.
I know. We were just fired up making this record, and we couldn't wait to get it out and just make it super high energy and super in your face and fuck yeah, that kind of
Get some. That gives you that fuck yeah.
Okay, yeah, dude.
Following Come
That's-
to Brazil.
Yeah, that Get Some is one of the funnest ones for me. It's a super fast, riffy. It's a riff-driven song. A lot of energy. It's just fun too. It's like a fun song. It's not.
I think the whole album's fun. I think it's a very fun album.
Awesome, thanks.
But yeah, so where did you record the album, and did recording in these locations shape the record any differently?
We did most of it at our place in Huntington Beach. It's just a small place, not really a proper studio, but and then we did some work in Hawaii, and we finished it up in Vancouver. So all over the place. But I mean, we like working at home, I guess. Usually.
Yeah, definitely. And it is kind of like our studio, even though it's kind of small, is a refuge for us. We go in there and have a cup of coffee, talk to Bob about what's going on in the world, any new music we've heard, an old record that we found new appreciation for, and discuss ideas, and then start making music. Bob Rock, our producer, is the Bob.
Sure.
I'm speaking of, yes.
And are there any of those new albums that sort of influenced it that you discovered?
Oh gosh, it could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be an old Bowie record, Hunky Dory by Bowie. I remember talking to Bob about that. It could be a documentary that we saw about an old band. Anything new, anything old, anything that's good.
Yeah.
Lovely. And you mentioned Bob Rock there, and for this new album, he's worked with everyone from Metallica to Simple Plan to Nelly Furtado. What is it about your continued collaboration that excites you the most?
I did not know Bob worked with Nelly Furtado.
I didn't know that either.
Michael Bublé.
Makes sense now. But I had no idea. Yeah, see, you learn something new every day.
We'll have to ask him about that.
He's
next
been
time,
holding
yeah.
out on me.
Yeah,
He's been
right,
holding
yes.
out, totally.
You should come around like a bird.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, what was the question?
What is it about your continued collaboration that excites you the most?
Bob is he's a pushing force more than anything else. He kind of pushes us in the direction that we would have eventually gotten to.
Yeah.
And what that means is when we're working on something and it sucks, he can tell us that it sucks without making us feel bad and push us to make it better.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's really the producer's job, to push us in a direction we would go anyways, and to do it.
It is true. We've had producers go, it's really not very good, is it?
This song is beyond you. We've had that.
We have that,
Yeah.
Do you ever push back on this album? Is there a song?
There's always times when Dexter will, and Bob might go, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" He's not feeling it, and he'll go, "No, Bob, this is the right thing." This part.
Yeah.
It does happen, but usually it's always good natured, and at the end, usually both we all come together and go, you know what, that was the right call. That was the right call to make on that.
Yeah, if one of us isn't sure, usually it means let's just try a couple more things, and usually we end up someplace better.
It's always the
Usually,
best.
yeah.
And Dexter, I was watching some of your old interviews, the pair of you done over the years. One that stood out to me was with Zane Lowe around the release of Conspiracy of One in 2000. And your quote was, "We always try to make the artwork really special, like a comic book." And I've noticed some of the visuals on Spotify with the two singles that you've released with the Skeletons. What's the theme there?
The themes, we found that skeletons really work. They really work.
I can
When in doubt, more skeletons, right? Actually, there's this book I discovered that was done by Brian May, one of our heroes and stuff.
Oh,
And,
yes.
and it's these old cards called Diableries, and they're kind of like the first 3D cards. You had to have a special viewer to look at them, and they were done in the 1800s. And they're all these crazy skeleton scenes, almost like dioramas or something. And I thought it would be cool to kind of base our artwork on these old dioramas. And so the artist that we like to work with, David, he came up with all these images for the album. We were really stoked.
Yeah, awesome. And I mean, I can back at this. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah,
It's so striking.
His idea. Yeah.
I love it. Lovely.
Brian May went into hospital today, so he was just been into hospital today. Brian May.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
He's
Haven't
seriously
heard.
ill.
Yeah, he's poorly.
Oh,
Oh.
no, I
I
didn't know
had a
that.
slight stroke.
Oh, jeez. Well, we're sending him all our,
Yeah.
all our
Hope
thoughts.
everything's okay.
Positive vibes. Yeah, he's one of the nicest guys in the world. I mean, legendary musician and genius, astrophysicist, PhD, but just one of the nicest guys in the world. So I hope he's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. What are your two favorite songs off the new album each, and why?
So two each, or
One each. Sorry. You can take two.
I
I'll
almost
give you
had
two.
you there. I almost had you there.
All of them.
I'm gonna go with "Hanging by a Thread." Is one of my favorites. It's definitely sounds like us, and it's angsty and it's kind of like frustrated and wanting to fight back. So I love that song, and it's got some great guitar work in it. Dexter actually does the solo in that. It's got the Middle Eastern solos that he's really good at. I love that one.
Once in a while, I get a guitar solo. I really love Truth and Fiction. It's the
I
fastest.
fight him for him, believe me. Yeah.
It's the fastest song on the record, Truth and Fiction, and it's kind of about the idea that we don't even agree on what the truth is anymore, and we can take our own fictions and say that they're true. And I just thought it was an interesting thing to write about.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite picks. Well, I have two. Get Some. I love the back end of the album, and Get Some and Come to Brazil.
Oh
It's almost like thrash metal-y almost.
Yeah. So I mean, on our social media, you guys have probably seen it. We can post something like, we're gonna go on tour, and the fans will say, come to Brazil, of course. You see that a lot. But we can post anything. It can be like, hey, happy birthday to Noodles, and the answers are, come to Brazil. We can say, we're coming to Brazil, and they say, come to Brazil. I'm sure you guys have seen it, right? This is a real thing, and we finally realized, oh my God, we got to write a song called "Come to Brazil." I can't believe no one's done this yet. So we write a song about how we're really flattered and we love going to Brazil and all that stuff. But the song's about the fans, and so it has some Brazil-friendly parts in it, like very.
Well, this is one of the only songs you've ever written where the idea and the lyric was first, and then you built the song around that. Usually the melody, the rhythm, drums, all that comes first, and then the lyrics are dead last.
That's true. We laughed. We go, oh my God, come to Brazil. That's the title. Like, okay, well, what does that sound like? We actually.
Thrash
what would it be
metal.
like? Yeah.
Big anthem-y chorus.
Yeah.
And then
The ole ole. at the
Ole,
end.
ole,
Yeah.
ole.
LA.
And what's it like to perform out in South America? Like we, in the UK, we see all the videos when you go out to Brazil or Argentina or Chile. What's that audience? How does that differ to, say, a European audience or an American audience?
Yeah, they're pretty crazy down there in South America. Chile, Brazil, and Argentina especially, I think. But it's not entirely different. I mean, we have crazy fans here. I mean, like we said, Download Festival
It's
went
incredible.
off.
Yeah.
Just nuts. So yeah, you got some knuckle cases. Knuckle
Yes,
cases. So yeah, that's what Brazil's like.
I'm better.
Oh, brilliant. So switching up now, you're going to go far, kid. It's just hit 1 billion streams.
I
I mean, that's an incredible amount of streams. And obviously back in the day, it spent 11 weeks at #1 in the US. So from that song in itself, all the way through to the video that came alongside it, the track has had a huge amount of influence over modern culture. Not just in the alternative space, but the entire music space. 16 years later, what does that song mean to you both today?
Well, I'm really amazed. I mean, glad it hit 1 billion, and I had to put it on repeat. I kept on pressing play for like 15 years. It really took a long time, but we finally got there.
We called our families and had to do the same. And, but yeah, after years, yeah,
Here we are,
16 years,
yeah,
what we got.
That's
there.
right. And
Yeah.
Drake still beat us, but that's all right.
I remember when before that song was released, playing the record for my son, and he loved, especially the dance fucker dance part. And but I thought, oh, this song could be something because my son loves it. You know, who was 4 at the time or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, just I mean, really, what an honor! How cool to hit 1 billion streams. Who'd have thought?
And up next to hit 1 billion streams will be The Kids Aren't Alright.
Yes!
That's right.
Yes!
It's
It's
like
touching
it.
It's
what
getting
it's at like
close.
what 989 or
Yeah.
something like
I was
that.
hoping it was gonna hit
So we're gonna go home
today.
right now. We're gonna hit repeat.
Yeah, we're almost there.
We're almost there. Yeah.
But if we all do it, maybe we'll get
Yes.
there. You know?
Please. Yeah. Give it a listen.
But yeah, from 1 billion streaming artist to another, Ed Sheeran, obviously you did the collaboration with him at Bottle Rock in California. How did this come about, the whole from start to finish? Obviously we know the
That was really cool. I gotta say, it was really
Yeah.
cool. And it was kind of Noodle's idea, actually.
Well, I had heard that he was an Offspring fan, and I saw that we were playing the same day, and I said, "Hey, let's reach out, see if he's up for a collaboration." We never really did a lot of that. We had just done the Brian May thing right before that, and I said, "Let's try Ed Sheeran." I like him. I'm a big fan, especially like his singer-songwriter stuff. I really love that stuff. And he said yes, he wanted to do it. And it turns out that the first record he ever bought himself was Conspiracy of One, and he asked if he could do Million Miles Away with us. He chose the song, and we said absolutely. And he came out, he traded lyrics with Dexter, went back and forth head to head, and it sounded amazing. It was great.
And the rumor was that he had an Offspring tattoo, right? Which we thought, this can't be true. So
Right.
we asked him, and then he lifts up his shirt, and there it is. And it was a big cheer in the dressing room.
Yeah,
Like,
I got to
alright.
touch it.
You can touch mine, it's not as impressive.
Can he be on the podcast? Potential guest?
Oh, that'd be rad.
I think that'd be
cool.
I'd love to pick his brain.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to just have a pint with the guy. Really, we
Yeah.
haven't been able to do that yet. We were in and out of Napa, unfortunately.
The time will come, 100%.
Yeah, I hope so.
But also you mentioned that you've obviously collaborated with the legendary Brian May as well. But the other one that's really stood out recently is Youngblood.
Yeah.
Obviously at Open Air, and it's gone viral, and that video of you guys in the dressing room is just electric.
Yeah.
You know, I love that so much. And he's doing some great things in the UK, and recently he had Bloodfest. Does anyone here go to Bloodfest? Yeah, a couple of people. Where, you know, he's supporting acts coming through and trying to make things more affordable for the fans, like the Damn Play, Soft Play, Lil Yachty. Is he somebody you consider working with in the future, potentially?
He's too low energy for me.
Yeah, I guess.
We wouldn't have to do anything. Just set him in front of the stage and go back
Yeah.
and forth. And you know,
Yeah.
hype man, he was great.
It was hard to keep up with that guy. Yeah, he's the real deal. His
Yeah, no,
energy
he was fun.
for days. Yeah, he just came off Bloodfest. He was so
Yeah.
stoked. So he was very excited. And he was stoked to come play with us. I love the backstage moments. We've done a few of those where we
So
just,
cool.
you know, just us playing with somebody that we're, inspired by, and those moments are rad. So, and then once you take the stage, then it's just kind of like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is out of this world.
I think it's amazing as a fan to have that sort of like keyhole and seeing what goes on behind the scenes before something like that, you know, takes place. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And the future of UK music. At the moment, are there any British acts in particular that you guys have your eyes on?
I'm a big fan of the Rolling Stones. I think those kids have potential.
They've got potential.
They
yeah.
got real
I think
potential.
so, yeah.
Yeah. You know, Mick Jagger is as old as the president of our country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary,
yeah.
isn't it?
And of the two, I would vote for Mick Jagger.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah.
I usually write him in.
Yeah.
What about the Beatles?
They're okay.
Great. Well, we'll move on to the fans' questions. I know I met lots of you earlier outside, and we whittled it down to about 7 or 8 questions. So, first question comes from Joel. Is Joel in the crowd?
Right here.
Right there. Hey, Joel.
Hi.
So his question is, which song of yours surprised you with how popular it became?
I'm gonna have to go with "Come Out and Play." Just that's the song that really broke for us.
I was
And
going to say, the first one.
Yeah, I love the song. I thought it was fun. You know, but I had no idea what was gonna happen with the fun. But it's about a serious subject. It's about gangsters killing gangsters. You know, and but it is it's a unique song. It sounds happy and upbeat. Then you kind of listen to it and go, "Ooh, that's dark." So.
Great. And yourself, Dexter?
I was going to say, there's a couple songs, you guys know all the titles and stuff, but like when we go to Japan, some songs do better than other places. Like for some reason, One Fine Day, I don't know if you guys know that song. It's like, it's huge in Japan. And the song that doesn't do so well in Japan is Self-Esteem. Doesn't quite go over in
No,
Japan.
we don't
Wow.
end with self-esteem in Japan. Sometimes we leave it off the set list completely. It's kinda
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. But One Fine Day. But that makes it fun for us. We get to play a different song.
Is that the only country you leave that song off the set list?
Yes.
Yeah. That's incredible. Wow. Next question from Zayden. Zayden,
Yay, this little man.
what do you do to prepare before a show?
Lately, we've all been getting together and just kind of run through a couple of songs. Sometimes we'll jam different songs. I drink 2 beers.
I was going to say beer. Beer, right? Yeah, I mean, I do a vocal warm-up. I know that's not cool, but I kind of have to.
Yeah. All the potions.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Daz, where are you, Daz?
Me. Yeah.
There you go, Daz.
All right.
So the next question comes from Daz, and it says, I read a story about you meeting a homeless person outside your rehearsal space and buying him a house once you've found sources. Is this true? And if so, did you keep in touch with them?
It was Rick Sims who wrote. No. That's not true. We never looked at their house. There was one time when we did a thing with a British magazine. We were given so much money, but it was like $485. And what are you going to do with the $485? And we bought a funnel and a piece of tubing, and we made a beer bong.
Yeah.
And then we were going to bail a homeless guy out of jail. But
We were.
Yeah, but we couldn't find the homeless guy. Like we had a name, we had somebody we were going to
Yeah.
bail out, but they couldn't track him down. So I think we ended up just giving the money to a homeless guy. But it didn't buy him a house.
Not buy a house.
Might have bought him a hotel room for a night or two, but maybe a week's worth of hotel. But
Myth busted there.
yeah.
Okay, this has an in it. So how would you compare your shows in the 90s with your shows in 2024?
They're better now, honestly. They are
Yeah.
so great, so off the hook now. Just like the last one we played here, Download, just amazing, crazy.
I'm almost learning how to play guitar.
You're getting there.
Yeah.
He's getting there. He's
My
getting
singing,
there, yeah.
my singing's better, but I'm almost learning how to play guitar. I'm
Yay,
almost
well
there.
done.
Yeah.
This is from Andrew. Andrew?
Yep.
There you go.
Andrew.
There's a couple of Andrews, I think. This is for Dexter. Dexter, you did a Q&A on Twitter around 10 years ago. I asked a 2-part question, but you only answered part 1. So part 2 is 10 years ago.
I have a follow-up.
I'm a bit scared where this is going.
10 years later.
10 years later. So part 2, you said The Kids as a song probably meant the most to you. I just want to know the reason why.
The reason why, which one?
The Kids on a Ride.
The Kids on a Ride.
Oh, that was a really personal song. I know I've told the story before, but I was driving through my old neighborhood, and as I drove by the different houses, I was remembering the people who lived there when we were all growing up, and thinking like, oh wait, that guy, he ended up ODing, or something really bad happened to a lot of these people, and it just kind of reminded me about you can grow up in a decent neighborhood. It was very middle class. It wasn't wealthy or anything, but some people had pretty unfortunate outcomes and stuff.
When we're little kids, everyone's future seems so bright, and then you start to see people fall through the cracks of society. I had friends that were institutionalized, either prison or for mental institutions, and drug abuse, things like that.
Hit by a car.
Hip a car, yeah.
Like you could actually name a bunch of them. Like
I
by
can,
the time,
yeah.
by the time we got out of
Their
high
faces
school.
are in my
Yeah.
head as we talk about the song. Yeah, you know, we changed all the names and everything, and even some of the situations, just to try to get the point across without putting too fine a point on it.
Yeah, of course. Next question. What's your favourite song that you didn't write? Can be
Holiday in
anything.
Cambodia. I wish I would have wrote Holiday in Cambodia. I love that song.
Can I say I'm too sexy? By
Yeah, you
right
can
side?
say
I wish I wrote that one.
Which is also Dexter's
I
favourite
should- I
karaoke
should-
song.
I want to change my answer.
How does it go?
Need beer for that.
Nice try.
A few more.
I'll go out to karaoke after this.
Exactly. Oh, we'll see you there.
Get enough shots in him. He
We'll
sings,
see in
he
Soho.
sings it perfectly.
Can I come?
What will you sing then?
Does anybody here ever karaoke to their own songs?
Saida, hey Saida, how you doing?
We-
I drew one of her tattoos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
It's a monkey. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
I see me as a monkey.
Yeah.
Oh, I need that.
Dexter next.
I need a something.
And what band would you have liked to have been in if you could have been in any band in the world? You're not allowed to say the Rolling Stones. What band would you have liked to have been in and why?
Right said Fred. Because
It's the thing.
I like to dance and not wear shirts.
You say you'd be the one with the mesh shirt or what?
No, in all seriousness, I think the Ramones would have been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Ramones.
For sure, right? I don't know. I think Devo would have been really cool.
Oh,
just
dude,
for
yeah.
just for the costume, right?
Yeah.
Or Hot Chocolate in the 26?
Hot chocolate.
Okay. Make It Alright. This is from Minon. Minon. Make It Alright reminds me of Rise and Fall, and Light It Up reminds me of Ignition. Do you think there are similarities between the two records and Supercharged?
Sounds like our old shit.
Sounds like our old shit.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I mean, those are both different kinds of songs, but they both represent a part of who we are musically, I think, right? Light It Up's very kind of fast and whatever, classic Offspring sounding, I guess.
Well, and you have, and you mentioned this in a bunch of interviews today. But you have a certain sensibility when it comes to melodies. You know that you hear things, you know, in your original kind of way, I think. And you were saying when you were working on Light It Up, is this too much like what we've done before? I don't want to just keep repeating ourselves. And you decided to get out of your own way and just let the song become what it is as you heard it in your head. And it is what it is. So I think it really comes down to his sensibilities when it comes to writing melodies and rhythms and things like that. And fuck yeah, I'll keep doing it. I love those fucking songs. Fuck yeah.
It's been great. They've been going over really well. Light It Up, right off the bat, first time we played it. So cool.
And what is that writing process like, Dex? Do you normally hear it in your head and then jot it down, or?
Yeah, it comes in bits usually, but I'll just kind of hum it into my phone, the voice recorder or something, and then just come back to it later and piece it all together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, when we start in the studio, like he'll have this great idea, and we come in, and sometimes it doesn't work, does it?
It doesn't always work, right?
He likes to say the studio is where the heartbreak happens. We'll be in there, and
Instead of where the magic happens, right? Because sometimes, yeah, you come in and it just doesn't pan out.
you can hear it in your head, and you think this is gonna be great, this is gonna be great, and it's not there.
What songs have you walked into the studio with and it's been a smash hit? You're like, this is the one.
I think You're Gonna Go Far Kid was kind of there from the very beginning, for sure. Yeah, that was great.
How about off this record?
Off this one. Well, I don't know. Did we do one that was kind of beginning to end right away?
There's a couple I think we've all loved. I've always loved Hanging by a Thread. That one keeps popping in my head. But I wake up with a different song off this album pretty much every day. So Make It Alright's been in there. Okay, but this is the last time pops in my head a lot.
Yeah.
I know we keep on talking about songs. You guys have no idea what we're talking about.
It's a
I
teaser.
swear it's good. You're gonna love
It
it.
gets them. The one you were talking about too.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Oh, just wait.
So fun.
That is
so much fucking
awesome
fun.
song. And the first time you played Come to Brazil in Brazil, I mean, I can't wait to see that video.
Yeah.
Okay, so the final question from Ashley. What's in store for the future of The Offspring? What's next?
Oh, we're just getting started.
Yay.
Right now, we're focused on the World Domination Tour next year. We're going to be trying to hit all 7 continents, I think, at some point, hopefully.
Worldwide in 25. Antarctica, we should go, right?
We've never been. I think that would be amazing.
Is the European tour coming?
Yeah, absolutely next year. Yeah, I think
Can you have your UK
Yeah,
dates?
it's all being penciled in for next
definitely
year.
some UK days. We don't know when exactly yet, but we're trying to plot it out throughout the whole year.
Worldwide in 25, that's
Yeah.
what we're calling it.
That's
Nice.
We're also building a new studio,
Oh.
Dexter and I, so we're excited about that. Proper this time, and we own it. We're not renting. So-
Nice.
Have you got any other interesting side projects on the go at the moment, away from music?
As we've been so wrapped up
I
in this.
really am an underachiever.
Come on.
Yeah, I have a serious lack of ambition. I just want to keep learning how to play guitar.
Yeah.
I love guitar. So,
And you also.
any new hot sauces coming, Dexter?
Nothing new on the hot sauce front right now. We've been-
Just the 4 you have.
That's just the 4, yeah.
Okay.
We've been 100% focused on this new record.
Okay, good.
Brilliant. One last question from me. What's your favourite thing to do whilst you're in London?
Pub.
Oh, good. Come on.
Pub food.
Come on.
Pints. Yeah. come
Favourite
on.
pint?
I like Guinness.
Guinness,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, seriously, the pubs are great. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. We really enjoy it.
And you can't beat Guinness at all.
yeah.
But yes, thank you very much, Dexter and Noodles. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank all of you. Thank you, guys. Great to see you.
And just a reminder, Supercharged is out on the 11th of October, and on your way out there'll be a little tote bag, a little gift in there, and a
And
sign.
I'll be getting 4 copies because I've just booked tickets for your thing on Saturday. I'm just waiting in the queue.